I am Ralph Blust, and today I'm going to be your chief mixologist. First off, I want to thank you for attending this event. And then I have to tell you that when the marketing department asked me if I would host this, I said, sure. Hung up the phone. Never expected a few days later for this costume to show up at my door. So hopefully you're surprised by it as much as I was when I saw it. And I was like, really, I got to wear this? I have to admit one thing. I probably can't continue doing it with the glasses because the red glasses and everything looks the same, and I'll end up mixing who knows what. But today, what I'm planning to do is to show you how to make 5 cocktails. 3 are going to have alcohol, and 2 of them will be non-alcoholic, so that you can have fun for your whole family. And the intent is to have a little bit of fun with some very common and very easy cocktails that you can make. Now, the very first one I'm going to do is a Shirley Temple, and a Shirley Temple is typically made in a highball glass, such as this one. With the first thing you do is you put some ice in it, and it's got very simple ingredients. And this is generally designed as a kiddie drink. If you've ever had it as a kid, I know I had it a ton as a kid. Put a little bit of ice in. Then what you'll do is you'll take roughly a shaker full of grenadine, not a whole bunch, just some. And then from that grenadine, you will add a little bit of club soda. Now, if you like it really sweet, like I did when I was a child, you would actually use 7-Up, because that's, of course, what we did as kids, is we had it as 7-Up. And right here, you end up with your perfect Shirley Temple, okay? And as you can see, it's a very pretty color. What we can do now is we will add a maraschino cherry to it. And of course, I have the Luxor maraschino cherries. You would simply just drop a maraschino cherry in it. It sits at the bottom. And as a kid, the first thing you want to do is drink the whole thing down so that you can get to that maraschino cherry. And this would be your first drink. It's non-alcoholic and enjoyable for everyone. It's sweet and tart at the same time because I used club soda instead of 7-Up. Use 7-Up and it's a lot sweeter. It's still a sweet drink. Kids love it. So that'll be drink number 1. Drink number 2 is a rendition, an adult rendition of the Shirley Temple, and that's called a Dirty Shirley. Dirty Shirley starts with a martini glass. Now, as you see, I don't have stemware because I don't trust myself, because after too many drinks, you can never really hold a martini glass very well. So I start off with the maraschino cherry at the bottom of it, along with a little bit of maraschino cherry juice. Of course, then what you do in a shaker is you will add ice into your drink, into your shaker. You will simply just put as much ice in as you want. You take a little bit of Tito's vodka or any vodka that you enjoy. You fill it up, and of course I measure very precisely, as you can see. Right there is about 1.5 shakers of vodka. And then of course you're going to use a little bit of tonic. Tonic, club soda, or 7-Up, depending upon your preferred sweetness. And you'll add a little bit of that in. And then of course you add some grenadine because you like the color. And again, you pour that in. Then with a stir glass, with a stir, you simply just make a quick swish, very easily as that. You then take your, I don't know what the hell that thing's called. You take that and you basically just pour it into your martini glass, and you have a beautiful adult beverage that is called a Dirty Shirley because of the vodka that you put in it. Now, of course, what I want to do is I want to take and I want to put a little bit of Festivus into it. And so I'm going to take a little bit of a strawberry here. I'm going to just put it on the edge as a garnish. And it makes a wonderful, wonderful adult drink. So that is a Dirty Shirley. Now, for those of us that don't like the really, really sweet drink, the next one that I'm going to do is a Negroni. Negronis can be a very, very fun drink to drink. It's a drink that you can drink in the summer, in the winter, outside on a hot day. It's fantastic, or on Valentine's Day. In this case, what I will typically do is I will use an ice cube. So you want to put an ice cube. Ooh, slippery sucker. Well, I'm going to have to use my hands. I guess I'm going to drink this drink. So you use an ice cube, You then take a shaker again, you put some ice into your shaker, and then it is a very simple, easy, very, very simple drink to make, because all you do is you take 1 part of gin, 1 part of sweet vermouth, and 1 part of Campari. Campari is an Italian liqueur, near and dear to my heart since I'm Sicilian. And you would just basically take 1, and 1. You basically stir it in here, pour it over the ice, and serve it. It's that simple of a drink. So in this case, I am going to use a measuring so that you can see. I'm actually going to take and move these things over so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to start with the Tanqueray gin. And you pour a little bit to the top. I feel like Julia Child's here. I've never done this before. It's kind of fun. Let's see. So you take the Tanqueray, then you take a little the sweet vermouth. You do 1 shaker there. And then you take the Campari. Campari, it's an absolute horrible drink to drink on its own, but it's a wonderful drink wonderful liqueur to mix in various other drinks, because we're actually going to use this a couple times today. With that, you simply take your stir, and again, I have my stir sitting in water, so don't think I'm mixing my my alcohols and my drinks together. A couple simple, easy turns, just to get the beverage cool. Again, you take your thingamajig, that's what we're going to call it today, and we're going to just pour this over the ice. Very, very delicately. And you have a nice big block of ice so that it doesn't drain too fast. And now, this is a Negroni. My favorite drink, by the way. I am going to... Oh yeah, that's made perfect. I actually like this one a lot. Now, the final 2 drinks are basically, if you've ever heard of an Aperol Spritz, this is a take on an Aperol Spritz. And Aperol Spritzes are something that I absolutely enjoy. It's a great summer drink. It's a great casual drink. And typically you would serve that in a champagne glass. You would typically take your champagne with a little bit of Aperol, mix them together, garnish it. Oh shoot, I forgot the garnish. Here, I cut all this stuff up. Okay, so inside of your Negroni, you're supposed to put an orange peel and a lemon peel. Now, most restaurants won't put the lemon in, but I highly encourage you to put the lemon in also. It gives it a little bit of a change in flavor. Absolutely wonderful. Again, now we're back to the Aperol, as I was explaining, the Aperol Spritz. Well, in order to make this a more cost-efficient event for you guys, I basically thought, why don't we do a Campari Spritz? And sure enough, I looked up on the internet and found that there is a Campari Spritz. It's just like an Aperol Spritz, except what you do is you basically change out the Aperol for Campari. So it's not a tough change. And it's called an Italian cocktail. That's actually what they call it. So you start out with a champagne glass, and then you go to the, then you're supposed to go into, and you just add Campari to the bottom, and you only put in about 1 shot, about that much. Yeah, you can see I'm a very precise drink maker. Then, of course, what you do is you take Prosecco, because you want a little bit of a sweet flavor to this. The Campari has a little bit of sweetness, but it also has some bitters. And so you want to add a little bit of sweet, so you make sure you don't use champagne, you use Prosecco. And all you basically do is pour that in, just as I'm doing here, and you end up with an absolutely beautifully red drink. Of course, you have to add another garnish to this, because why not? I bought them all. I might as well put them on something. And right here you go. So now that is a Campari Spritz. Very, very wonderful drink. A lot of people enjoy them. There's another thing that you can do, and it's called a Juliet cocktail. Now, if you try to Google a Juliet cocktail, I'm going to tell you, you won't find it, because I made that name up. I was trying to think of Romeo and Juliet or something, you know, Valentine's-y, something kind of cool. Couldn't come up with anything until I was like, forget it. We'll just call it a Juliet cocktail. Take the, because Campari has that little bit of tartness, you want to create a drink that's going to have a little bit of tartness, but a little bit of sweet. So now you're just going to take a very small amount, a dash of grenadine. You're going to take an orange rind and you're going to put the orange rind around the top, just as I did before. Then, of course, you're going to take a lemon rind and you're going to squeeze the lemon into it. And this is a Juliet cocktail. This is the non-alcoholic cocktail that I had made up for this to make sure that we had 2 non-alcoholic ones. And let's see, here's my bottle opener. Another handy thing about bottle openers, most people use bottle openers wrong. When you have a bottle opener, especially on a wine cork, you're not supposed to take it and open it this way. You're actually supposed to go on the top and push down. Very, very handy for you to know that when you push it down, such as like that, it's much easier leverage, and typically you don't have to fly off and hit somebody in the face. So it goes out very well. And then all you do is simply fill this with, this is club soda in the case, so the club soda is going to add the tartness, and the lemon will also add the tartness, and then here you have a very refreshing cocktail. So that is 5 cocktails. Once again, you have the Shirley Temple, the Dirty Shirley, that is just the same thing as a Shirley Temple, except for the fact that you have some vodka in it. You have a Negroni, which is 3 simple ingredients: Campari, gin, and sweet vermouth, equal parts. Then you have the Italian cocktail, which is a little bit of Campari along with Prosecco. And then you have the Juliet Spritz. And the Juliet Spritz is nothing more than a dash of grenadine for color. And then some tonic water to keep it tart, along with a lemon peel and an orange peel. And of course, you garnish as much as you can with strawberries. I certainly appreciate your time in coming in, and hopefully I was helpful in giving you a small laugh about this crazy costume and a little bit of fun when you're having Valentine's Day tomorrow with your significant other. So have yourself a great time, and thank you so much for being exclusive clients of Pathpoint.